So what's going on, everybody? Today is August 29th, 2018, and what we're going to be talking about today is we're going to be going over episode number 3 of This Week in the Market, but today is going to be the recap of episode number 3. And we're going to see what we could be able to find, see if we were, on the right track when it came to the trades that we were already doing. All right, and see what's been going on. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm always going to start out with DXY, because the thing is the DXY kind of controls a lot of the pairs that I'm personally following. So if you want to write down the personal pairs that I personally do, I'm not going to touch anything else. Mostly the reason why I'm only picking these are because they generally go, are focused based upon the major pairs around the world, and they kind of correlate with each other, right? So when one's going up, another one's going down, or one's going up, another one's going up with it, and stuff like that. But they kind of all mesh or are separate from each other. So if you want to write these down, so the DXY, XAU USD, which is gold, Euro USD, right? So EU, GJ, which is GBPJPY, AUD USD, so AU, UJ USDJPY, UCAD, so USD CAD, and then also Bitcoin is another one that I personally follow as well. All right, so we're going to start out with the DXY, and then we're going to work our way down. So when it comes to the DXY, when it comes to the monthly, right, on the monthly chart, we see, let's see what we see. We see that there's, I guess, sort of downtrend when it comes to the actual monthly, but we're not really going to focus on that too much. The reason why I'm pulling up the monthly first, see if there's any trend line opportunities that we can be able to, come up with, right? So what we see is the fact that there is some level of support, right? So when it comes to when I go down to the lower time frame, like the weekly or something like that, it is a definite uptrend. Okay. So so what we see here is the fact that there's a pretty nice uptrend when it comes to the weekly time frame, and that's something important to know, right? We do see some weekly some trend line opportunities that we could be able to have, right? There's one right here and there's one right here, just to find like where the top area is. All right, now if I were to, we're going to start using our fib, so really pay attention on where I'm placing them. I'm not really going to go too far in depth on how to be able to do this, but if I was to click at the top of here, so point A to point B right here, I'm not going to call this right here a lower high. Reason why is because it didn't get to 38.2, right? So if anything, I'm just going to draw this down to this point B right here, and as we can see, price got to this area right here, 50%, which is like a neutral area when it comes to price reversal. But at the same time, this is not really technically like a trend line. It just started that trend line, so that's why I could be able to kind of call it a trend line now. All right, so we see that at 50%, price started to shift. Right, also price started to shift at the same level right here of this monthly zone. We see a lot of consolidation around here, so it does make sense that price started to get to this area and then do the same thing, kind of just like how this one did as well. Right, so so what we see here is the fact that price shifted at 50%, which is cool, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take out this 38.2 level, because that's not really significant anymore. So I'm just going to double click on there, and I'm just going to take this off so I can be able to have a clean area, because we know price got to 50%. Cool. Right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to the day time frame, because I want to see, okay, how far is this push down going to happen? Because we already know on the weekly time frame this is an uptrend. Price is starting to shift down, so this is just a pullback, right? But when it comes to the daily time frame, it's a big pullback. Or when it comes to the weekly time frame, it's a big pullback. Okay, So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to see, okay, how far could this push down, all right? So first of all, I want to see, okay, where was my last higher low? So I'm going to do point A at this point, right? And I'm going to do point B over here, right? So to be considered a true higher low, it has to get to at least 38.2. So we see a gap here. So did it get to 38.2? No, it didn't. All right. So this is not a true 38 point. This is not a true higher low. So essentially, I got to continue my way up to see, okay, where is my next higher low? And as we can see here, price has not created one as of yet. So I don't know if you, I'm pretty sure I put out a video explaining this. I think it was when I was talking about gold in this specific video right here. It was actually in a chart breakdown. So if I was to go to the chart breakdowns, right, and if I were to go to gold, right, I almost know for sure. I explain in this specific video, so CBD number 31, I explain that the DXY is going to push down to 38.2. Why? Because price needs to do that. Okay, price is going to push down to 38.2. Right, at the least. Right. So what does that tell me? Why is that important? If I can't trade the DXY, why is it important to know that price may go to 38.2? Because I already know, okay, if price is going to keep on pushing down, right, get to at least 38.2, right, or if anything, push all the way down to this trend line right here, which I doubt it will do, right? But at the least get to this 38.2. What that tells me is the fact that, okay, if the DXY is going down, meaning the US dollar is going down, then gold is going to go up, right? So let's kind of follow this together. So we see when it comes to gold, right, there's a big push up, push down, and this was literally just a retrace. Right, point A, point B, and I know it's kind of hard to see, right, but I'm going to put on, okay, 61.8 is there. All right, 61.8 is there, 78.6, so there's nothing really like saying, okay, this is where it's at. Anyways, we just see that, you know, the monthly is going up. This doesn't really matter too much, right? Let's go down to the weekly, right? And what do we see? We see that on the weekly time frame, it's technically a downtrend. There's a big push down. Price pushes up because it needs to, right? It needs to hit at least 38.2, and let's see if it does that. Boom, boom. I guess this is 38.2 for that one, but definitely 38.2 for this one. All right, point A over here, point B over here, 38.2. It's not that clean, right? But it's okay. All right, and what do we see here? We see that price literally finds some level of resistance, and then from there shoots down. And I wouldn't be surprised if price is actually going to break through this trend line and actually keep on going down. Pretty interesting. So if anything, stockable on go. So so price starts to push down. So being the fact that I believe that the DXY is going to continue to push down based upon the daily. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the daily time frame. Well, actually, let's do this. This will actually make it simpler for you, so you can be able to see how I get to this, right? So what do we see? Point A up here, point B down here, and what must price do? Get to 38.2, right, to create a lower high, right? So I'm sure I said this on the gold video that price is going to push up somewhere in this region right here, right? So let's go down to the daily, right? And what do you see starting to form? Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. So if the DXY is pushing down, and should get to 38.2. And let's see how many pips, right? About 60 pips. Look at this. You see a correlation. Now this is going to go up to 38. Sorry, 38.2. All right. So here, let me put this in perspective for you. So remember when I do session number 1, how I talk about, so the left side of the pair, when that goes up, the other side is going down. Well, if the US dollar is going down, right, the US dollar on this side would also go down, pushing XAU up, right? So XAU is getting, has more value while the US dollar is going down. Does that make sense? All right, so let's see how many pips this is, and you'll be able to find some type of ratio, right? So this is way more pips because the fact the numbers are just different, right? So by understanding the DXY, you'll make a whole bunch of money on gold. Does that make sense? All right, so I think this is the sweet spot around here. So my take profit for me is 1240, and it's been my take profit for a while, and I entered in down here. So let me see how many pips. I didn't even look at my trade. I just got a profit. So I must be up at least 1600 pips or 165 pips. Pretty cool. All right, so this is about 250 left, 260 left. All right, or I mean, it's actually in the thousands. So, so yeah, so that's gold, right? So my expectation. Let me write this again, even though I set this up. So I'll draw gold. All right. All right, cool. So now we're going to talk about EU. So here, if anything, write in the chat. I want you to write this in the chat, right? If it's EURUSD, and we already talked about how when it comes to the DXY, if anything, it should continue its way down on the daily time frame. Now, understand the daily inside of it, in the H4, the H1, it's going to go up and down too. So it's going to be periods where it's going to be going up too, right? But overall, it should be looking for this 38.2, right? So if overall the US dollar is going down, then EURUSD must be doing what? Write it in the chat. Yep. So let's look at what EURUSD has been doing on the higher time frame. So let's, we're always going to step back, see what's going on, stuff like that. And what do you see here? You see on the monthly, okay, price has been continuously creating lower lows and lower highs. Found some level of support. From there, finally broke through there. All right. And what do I expect, okay, price will continue its way down. All right. But right now it's finding, and it's been doing this for months, which is freaking crazy. 1 month, 2 month, 3 month dojis. Right? What does this tell you? Seller's exhaustion. Look at that long wick. Long wick. Seller's exhaustion. Crazy. So I wouldn't be surprised. There may be a push up and a big push up, and that'll be the last one. The last push, and then maybe. I don't know. What do I know? All right. So weekly. So what do we see on the weekly? You see big push down, consolidation for a while, push up, push down, right? And back here, which is pretty cool. I don't know exactly what CBD it was or what chart breakdown number it was, but a while ago I said, okay, price is going to push down. It's going to go. Price is going to push down. And it's going to push back up to this area right here. That's exactly what it did. And sometimes I wish I followed my own advice, honestly. But at least all the time. Obviously I do, but all the time. where I stay in my trades. Right? Believe me, emotions. I deal with emotions as well. Believe me. Right? I ain't perfect. So, so what do you see? Point A and point B, point C, 38.2. So right now it's kind of in a weird area. Right? Why I call it a weird area? The DXY is still looking to push down. So with that being the case, you would think that EUR will continue its way up, right? But there is some level of resistance over here that was formed, right? And a strong level right here, right at 38.2. Okay, so what I did was I figured, okay, right now it's in a weird area. So as opposed to getting into any type of market execution, I would want the market to kind of put me into the trade as opposed to me putting myself in the trade, and then I'm kind of like in an ocean where I don't know where the wind is going to take me. Okay, so as opposed to just getting in by myself, I'd rather it kind of put me in, right? So right now it's at 38.2, which is a weird area, right? So this red line right here, I had this here because I figured, okay, if price passes upwards past this area, then it should probably continue pushing its way forward up to, let's just say, about the 50% level, right? That red line right there. What the heck, bro? That red line right there, okay? Let me go up here. All right, so this red line up here, all right? If price continues to push up, so if price passes this this red area over here, which is some level of resistance, then price will probably get to this 50%, right? But that's kind of risky, right? For me, I'd rather follow the direction of the river as opposed to going against it, right? So I would rather the down push on the downtrend continuation as opposed to the continuation to the upside. But that's why I'm kind of hesitant when it comes to EU, at least right now, because it's been kind of wacky. So let me just put this fibs right here to see, okay, has it created a higher low as of yet? And as we can see, this was one shot, right? Didn't get to 38.2, which is crazy. Honestly, should have got it to 38.2 at the least, and it didn't, right? Continued its way, its push forward, right? And now it needs to make an even bigger retracement to make 38.2, right? So what the heck? If price even continues its way up, which I don't really see it continuing its way up. If it does, it'll probably go a little bit and push down. But I see the continuation. Excuse me. I see the continuation to the downside more than I see a continuation to the upside. But I'm not that secure when it comes to EURUSD right now. Being the fact that it continued its push up, but it is at some level of resistance right here, and I don't really know what I was trying to do right now, but it seems like this is a lower high that it's formed like on the H1 time frame. So let's go and see. So maybe, but it has, which is very important. It has created a lower low here, right, based on the H1 time frame. Well, let's see actually. Point A, point B. No, it hasn't. It's not a lower low because this didn't create a low right here. So then we'll put this up right here. Right? Put that up right here. And this is just a higher low. Higher low, higher low. And if anything, it's probably just going to make a higher low or break this area. So here, I'll put it to you like this. If price breaks through this area right here, I see it retesting. and then continuing. And you know, some people call it flag and stuff like that. I don't call it that. I just call it retest on the broken area. But it does look like a flag, I think. So price will break through this area, retest that area, and then from there continue its way down if it does that, right? Let me see this area over here. Because wouldn't you agree that this kind of looks like this, and then push up, and then this, right? And then this. I don't know. And then it continued its way up. Like that was like, I don't even know where that came from. So let's see this. Because EU is a pair that I really pay attention to. So it didn't even get to 38.2 on this one. Obviously not this one. So this one right here, it's pretty interesting. 38.2 on the dot, created a higher high. Interesting. That is crazy. Oh. 38.2. So this is the last one right here. Boom. So yeah, if price breaks through this area, then it's the first time that it actually broke structure. That's crazy. It's crazy how I didn't even catch that from before. So again, if price breaks through this last low right here, price actually breaks through this last low, then it actually has created its first lower low on the H1 time frame for this whole push. I thought that this actually broke structure, and it didn't. This right here was not the last low. This right here was the last low. This right here was the last low. Last low, if price breaks through this area, or retest that area or even get close to it, and then from there continue its way down. Let me do something real quick. Point A, point B. Yep. Pretty interesting. So watch out for that. For EU, still my how are you rolling out those lows? Because the thing is, price has to get to at least 38.2 on the fibs, right? I'm not really going to go too far in depth on that. I'm mostly going for way far in depth on fibs when it comes to my actual course that I offer to people and stuff. But that's where I go far in depth. I am showing it to you, but I know it's probably kind of hard to catch. But this is the most I can to do with the time that I have. Right? So, yeah, sorry. All right. So, so yeah, this is pretty key. So my still, my assumption is the fact that EU is to 1.12. Still, and this is actually pretty key right now. It'd be cool if it makes this push down, but I don't know. Let's see. So why 1.12? Well, it's pretty strong level. I'm gonna take out all these fibs real quick. I want to see something. This is technically 100% retracement to up here. Still hits it. Negative 27% to that monthly. I'm telling you. And when I'm saying I'm telling you, I'm telling me. All right. I don't want you to have too much confidence in me, right? So this is pretty interesting. So I'm gonna really look at EU now. Now that it's slowing up and stuff. but I think this is pretty interesting. So if anything, when you guys see this play out, yeah, okay, listen, I think EU is something. All right, whatever you want to say. All right, so that's that. So let's go to AU. Let's go to AU. So with that being the case, this may be done, and a continuation of push up. Let's see. All right. Yeah, AU. Like this is like textbook right here. So with AU, price found this level of support right here, a level of resistance right here. So it's creating this channel. Like this was like kind of obvious where like to sell up here and the push down. I missed that. I wasn't looking at AU at all. So let's do some stuff here. So point A and point B, 61.8. All right. Whoever caught that sell, congratulations. All right, I caught that one. And it was a pretty nice sell. Right. I didn't expect price to come all the way back up, but it did. Right. And if anything, we can probably draw our fibs on the first major push down. That's not it. We can do it from up here. All right. So point A and point B. Price reaches toward 88.6, but kind of, stops at 78.6. And then now inside of here, there are some, lower lows and lower highs forming. All right. So let's go down to the 1 hour. And what do we see? Price pushes up, down, pushes up, pushes up. All right. So let's talk about entries. All right. So how do I know when to enter like up here? Right. Or how do I know when to enter here? You see how that big candle pushes down? That's when you know the entire world saw what you just saw, right? So you could have entered here or here. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. That's where your entries are, okay? So let's do this. So mostly when you're finding entries, what you're looking for is for price to break structure. Now, I'm not really going to go too far in depth on breaking structure because believe me, that's a lot of work, right? But we see price makes a higher low here, right? Makes another higher low here, and then price breaks through this area here. Price breaks through this last higher low, retests, and then continues its way down. All right. So being the fact that this area was broken, push down, pushes up. This candle right here is where you enter. I know that price seems interesting, like, how the hell? And just know this is the candle that you enter in at. Okay, price pushes up, and then what does it do? Boom. Right. So same thing here. Right. It makes, this is actually like for the more conservative. This is more like me, aggressive. Give me it now. Right. Well, this is more conservative, and that's why it really pushes down. So when I'm guessing the entire world saw it. So price starts to push up, doesn't pass this level of resistance, and it was doing this for a long time. Price, like the world saw the fact, okay, it's been 10 hours and still hasn't passed this area. And then once they saw this candle right here, it's like, okay, it's game over. And then that's when it was a continuation to that downside. And this would be the next area where you would find an entry, and then also in this area right here. So it's kind of difficult to be able to tell you, okay, this is what, without being able to like go through literally all the other small stuff that goes in between to tell you like this is when you're entering that. But if anything, I kind of gave you a broad aspect of what I can be able to do with the time that I have. All right. So let's see something. Point A, point B. Oh yeah, this is beautiful. 50%. Continuation to the downside. I see AU still losing power. We'll see how this 4-hour candle closes. I do see some level of seller's exhaustion here. Same thing here, but the thing is, we got to see how this candle closes. So I don't have my monthlies drawn on this, so I don't really have like a specific, okay, this is where I believe price may go. But short term, I just see sells on it. I don't really see anything specifically long term. If anything, if price passes this point right here, as you can see, the literally the candle stops right where this one stops. I did that for a reason, right? Then I could be able to see something, but without that, I don't really see anything. Yeah. So check out this supply and demand zone. Let's do the 2 hours. Yeah. Check this out. So previous candle's wick to the breakout candle's body and into the future. All right. So the way that you draw supply and demand zones, previous candle's wick to the breakout. You see how price breaks out into this area? Previous candle's wick to the breakout candle's body at the top part because it's going up. And look over here. You see how price literally stops over here? Price breaks through it, well, not breaks, but price pushes through it, stops in midair, right? Why? Because it's stopped there, right? Price stops, and then from there, look where it closes. Price did the same thing here, and it will probably close in this area too for this 2-hour candle. Probably even push through it, but once price breaks through this area, and that's why I drew this here. Once price breaks through this area, close past this area, then I see a continuation to the downside. Right. But I'm not really going to say specifically where it should go. All right. I'm mostly looking at that gold trade. All right. So after AU, let's do GJ. And when it comes to GJ, I was in the sell, and then price pushed up. Like, what the heck? After that news, I don't think anybody saw that. Anybody. All right, so hit my stop loss. That's why we got stop loss. All right. As you can see, price is starting to push down, and no one saw that news. No one did. So if you got knocked out of that trade, oh well. No, it's not your fault. No one saw that, believe me. All right. So point A, point B down here. Price is still on the downside when it comes to the higher time frames. All right, still a downtrend. Okay, 78.6. Price is at right now. Price is probably going to have a hard time to get past this supply and demand zone. The supply and demand zone was drawn was drawn back here, right? Price hit this area, and then from there pushed up, hit this area, from there pushed up, and then broke through this area. All right, close past, retested that supply and demand zone, then dropped. Price got that supply and demand zone, had some trouble, and then from there, the only thing that got it through there was that news. So, I forgot exactly what the news was specifically about, but something that doesn't really change for something right now is just saying what may happen or talks that are happening, right? That brought the Great British Pound up in value at that point in time. So I wouldn't be surprised it's going to be like that news is going to kind of vanish, and then price is going to go back to where it was, right? So we'll probably have a hard time pushing. Took away the deadline for Brexit. So what does that mean? What does that, the deadline? All right. So price will probably bounce onto this area, sit here for a long time, which would be annoying. So I don't know if I'll be looking at any of the G pairs for a little bit. Deadline was October for the Brexit deal. Okay, so when is the there's no deadline anymore? What does that mean though? So price sit on this for a little bit, hover on here, and then from there break through this area of this price. If it continues its way up, then it continues its way up. We still have to react based upon what the market gives us. If price breaks through that area and the breakthrough that I'm speaking about, point A here, point B here, 38.2. So this is a lower high. So if price breaks through this area right here, which I don't see it doing, if it does, whatever. All right. Price breaks through this area right here, where would I be looking? Nah, bro, I don't see that. I don't see that at all. Bro, there's a big push down. Price had to create a higher low, right? I mean, a lower high. Price starts to push down, and for it to break through this area, like, nah, bro. I don't see that. And it continue its way up, I don't see that. I still see the sells. I still see price, and I'm going to keep that one. I still see price getting to 140.7, 144. That's still what I see. All right, I still see price getting to this area right here. So that's even a better position up here. Look at that. Give me more pips. So here's the thing. Now it even gives me an even better opportunity too, because now what's happening is the fact that your stop loss will be close to nothing, because your stop loss will be literally right above this. So somebody asked, okay, when to close. So this would be kind of the opposite, like when to put your stop loss. You want to put your stop loss where the last high is, right, for a sell, or for the last low is for a buy. All right, that's how you're gonna do this. So if anything, this is an even better position. So before getting into the sell, right, what I would suggest is wait for price to pass and tell you, hey, listen, this is where it's going. All right, so wait for price to pass this last low, not really a low, this pass right here, break through this area, retest this area, and then from there drop. It's usually how it goes. Break through, create a flag, quote unquote, right, or retest. That's what it is. No retest, no entry. That's the name of the game. And then from there, push down. That's what I see. All right, or you can just be, you know, you can be like me. Be like, this is what I see. All right, up to you. All right, so that's GJ. I still see that, man. All right, more people getting more money off of that. All right, so let's see. Now, UJ. Let's go to UJ. Now with UJ, what do we see? Elijah, UJ? This is messing with me. I haven't traded it because it's literally in this area. You know, price started to pick up, and now, being the fact that price picked up so much, it actually passed this last high, created another high. Right now, I see the buys. This is what I see now. Before, I didn't see that at all. I was seeing lower lows, lower highs, and stuff like that. But then when you look back, you see the fact that it's been making these higher highs and higher lows this entire time, based upon this time frame right here. So now this is a whole different ball game. I'm just going to take off this trend line right here, and we're going to start over from scratch now. So right here, point A, point B, point A, point B, 38.2. You see how there's seller's exhaustion right here? This is a clear indication. Okay, this is a continuation of the uptrend, right? And then what does it do? It creates a new high, right? So this is the last point right here. So did you see somebody asked me about fibs? Put it at the bottom candle where there was a breakout candle or wick to the stop of that breakout at the top of that wick, right, for the uptrend. And then you see where your point C is. So point A, point B, point C. Price stops literally at 38.2, and then from there, continuation of the uptrend. So where am I going to put my fibs here? I'm going to put my fibs beginning of that push up, right? First bullish candle to the top of the wick where it stops, and then where does price stop at? 61.8. This should have been a clear indication of this is an uptrend. I wasn't looking at the daily time frame. I was looking at the lower time frames. Usually, when it comes to UJ, I look at the H4 time frame, and I just wasn't even looking at the daily time frame. Right, so this is clear. 61.8, continuation of the uptrend. So what would be my first take profit? My first take profit is usually going to be at the top of you know, where price stopped before. So my first take profit would be at 113.18. Right, and actually this is actually clear indication this is a continuation of the uptrend. All right, so this is a long term. Like if you don't have a you know, a pretty good account balance, I would trade this. 113. So this is 113.1. The next take profit is always going to be the negative 27%. Yes, even. Right? Well, you know, they manipulate their currency on purpose, and the fact that they're open about it is crazy. Right? So 114.5. They literally manipulate their currency on purpose, which is crazy. Right? And then the last one is always going to be 61.8. And what do you see here? This is beautiful. That literally correlates with 61.8. Literally correlates with my monthly key, with my weekly key level. So this is like a ding, 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 ding. So on 16.1. All right. So there you go, GJ. You showed your face. I mean, GJ, UJ. So, so yeah, man. Like this is where I'm at when it comes to UJ. We'll see a retest. Let me see if this is a point A, point B. So yeah, it's gonna push down hard. I'm just letting you know. It's going to push down hard, right? It didn't get 38.2. It has to, okay? Let me take this off. Price is going to push down hard, create a lower high. I mean, I always mess up these words. The reason why I take off the levels and the fibs so I can be able to see in between. All right. So price has to make a higher low, right? So point A, point B, point C, right? It didn't. It didn't make one. All right. If anything, let me see this. Sometimes this thing be faking me out. All right, so this got to 50%. So this is the last higher low. All right, so let's check it now. So it wicks it. All right, wick. So wick. So I guess it did. It's not going to push down as much as I thought it would. All right, let's go down to the H1 so you can be able to see what I see. All right. So it doesn't really. I wouldn't be surprised price is actually going to push down even further when it comes to this one right here. Let's do this. So I guess it did. You can call it that. All right, 38.2. Now, let's do this. Let's do this one now. Point A, point B. So wicks this area. It'll probably go back to this area. It's not going to wick that one time. It's going to do it again. Let's go to the 15-minute. Because now I'm looking for entries. That's what I'm looking for. So this is what price may do. Price may have this push up. And then from there, push down on this again. Right? And you could do this many ways. I was actually doing this, and then Chris Terry actually said that this is what he does, and I was like, fire. So what you can be able to do is you can have 3 separate entries, split up your risk, right? So let's just say that you have $1,000 in your account and you follow 10% risk management. Then what you'll do is you'll have a 0.3 lot size of a buy limit here, 0.3 here, another 0.3 here. So your risk is kind of split between those 3. And then from there, you know, set your take profits and stuff like that. So these are pretty long take profits. The first one is already, what is that? 160 pips. The second one is 300 pips. And the last one is 460 pips. You know, so these are long trades, right? So just letting you know. GJ, all right? And what you're looking for is for a nice bullish engulfing pattern, right? So when price gets to about the 38.2 range, look for a bullish candle to engulf a bearish candle. That'll be your sign to get it. But just get it on a lower lot size until you know it's continuing to push up. All right. So pretty excited about GJ. UJ. All right. UCAD. Oh yeah. I don't even want to touch this one, honestly. UCAD is ugly. All right, I don't even want to do this one. Take this. Price probably pushed down to this area. That's all I got. All right, for UCAD. And for Bitcoin, I'm pretty proud of this one. I got 5,000 pips on this one the other day. Not the other day. This like recently. Yesterday. And I called this trade out on this CBD. What was it? August? No, not this one. I called it out this CBD, August 17th. I explained this is what I'm doing. Blase, blase. I got 5,000 pips off this. So 5,000 pips it took from 17th to the 28th. 11 days. 5,000 pips. There's some people that don't get 5,000 pips in a year. All right, so that's what Bitcoin can do for you in your life. All right. So let's go to Bitcoin. All right, Bitcoin. So on the daily, if this crosses blue over red, that'd be pretty interesting. Nice bullish action. Price is literally at this 4 hour key level. Now let me put it to you like this. Straight up, my monthly and weekly, quote unquote, because they're not monthly and weekly, they're daily in H4. Key levels for Bitcoin are so exact, it's freaking crazy. Like it's so exact. Like it's frightening how like on point my key levels are. Like it's crazy. So like I could sell these type thing. That's how good they are. All right, these key level points. All right, so let's go to the H4. I just see price getting to this trend line, and then from there, I have no idea. I'm sure Bitcoin is so manipulated, it's crazy. But I really do not see Bitcoin pushing up anytime soon to break past that trend line. If it does, then I see price getting back to this 8,000 level. I don't see it going to 10,000. I don't see it going to 11,000 this year. But it may. Shit, I don't know. You never know. If it does, well, cool. I own Bitcoin. I would suggest to own Bitcoin as well. All right, so that has been my analysis based upon the middle of the week recap of this week in the market, session number 3. If you are not subscribed to our YouTube, I'll definitely suggest to get subscribed. Reason why is because you would have an opportunity to be one of the 5 that are going to be picked to be able to actually do a one-on-one with me. We could be able to really break down the charts together, be able to have your monthly and weekly key levels listed for a pair. And if you want to do more, you'll have the option to be able to do more. And yeah, so I greatly appreciate your time. Go ahead and leave a comment or comments. I know for sure that you're going to have some questions or something. Leave a question. I'll answer it for you, as you can see. All right. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on our Telegram. Subscribe, and go on our website and be able to actually see this in order and stuff like that. So really appreciate your time. And if anything, let's become an FX pro